The estate rose from the frost, like something conjured. Tall iron gates opened onto a winding drive, lined with lanterns and the faint glitter of hoarfrost in the hedges. Music drifted on the wind, faint, lilting, the echo of strings and soft laughter beyond tall windows. Her carriage pulled to a stop beneath the arch. Footmen in navy livery opened the door without a word. Eleanor stepped out, masked, gloved, composed. Every inch the woman they expected to see, and none of the one they feared. The manor was alive with movement. Guests in silks and jewels stepped lightly over marble floors, their faces half concealed behind gold and lace. No one looked at her too closely, not yet. That was the danger and the advantage of a room full of masks. She moved through the crowd like mist, smiling when required, watching everything. The ring could be anywhere, anyone, and the clock was already ticking. The ballroom glittered beneath candlelight, all silk and silver and sound. Eleanor moved through it with practiced ease, smiling, observing, blending. A hand on a champagne glass, a gloved gesture mid-laugh, an idle flick of a fan. She watched them all. The ring could be anywhere, and it wasn't on any of them. She circled the room twice, paused near the card tables, shared a drink with a merchant's daughter in green. Nothing. There were rings, yes, many, but none with a black stone. None bearing the seal she was sent to retrieve. The hour grew late. The music shifted to a slower rhythm. The crowd thinned toward the edge of midnight. And still, nothing. The clock began to chime, 12 strokes for the new year. Guests raised their glasses, voices echoing with well-practiced cheer. At the top of the grand staircase, a figure emerged. The hostess. Elegant, poised, radiant in crimson and gold. Her mask simple, her presence unmistakable. She raised a glass to the turning of the year, and to all that lies ahead. Eleanor froze. There, on the hostess's hand, a ring, black stone, intricate setting, unmistakable. It wasn't on a man, it wasn't hidden, it was worn in plain sight. By the one person in the room no one questioned. And in that same moment, the hostess turned. Their eyes met, just for a heartbeat. Then the woman smiled and disappeared up the stairs. Eleanor followed the woman through the velvet curtain, unaware of what waited beyond. A narrow stairwell descended into the dark, carved in old stone and lit by flickering torchlight. Eleanor moved quietly, her hand brushing the damp wall for balance, her breath shallow in the cold air. Somewhere ahead, a creak, a whisper of movement. She hurried her pace, and then an iron gate, locked and heavy. The passage was sealed. Eleanor knew exactly what to do. She knelt, calm, deliberate. From the hem of her dress, she loosened a stitched seam and pulled free a narrow pouch. Inside, small wrapped herbs, a glass vial, and a folded scrap of metal, a former snuff tin, now a tool of survival. She worked quickly. She found the base of the hinge, brushed the solution gently across the seam. The metal darkened. Tiny bubbles sizzled. The air filled with the sharp scent of corrosion. She waited. Then, the gate gently fell away. She didn't hesitate. Up the opposite stairwell she ran. bursting through the stable door just in time to see the woman disappear into the forest on a black horse. Her eyes narrowed. She ran for the nearest horse. The chase had begun. The forest closed around her. Bare branches clawed at her cloak. The wind rose. Fog swallowed the path. But she pressed forward. No lights ahead, no sound. Just the steady beat of hooves and breath and the pounding of her heart. Then, through a break in the mist, a black horse. Alone. Still, standing beside a narrow ravine. No one in sight. Eleanor slowed. Dismounted, stepped lightly over leaves wet with frost. The woods had gone silent. Even the wind seemed to hold its breath. She moved toward the idle horse, slow, careful, watching. Then, cold steel touched her throat. Don't move, or this will be your end. The blade at her throat didn't waver. I know who you are. And I know why they sent you. Eleanor didn't speak. The woman went on. I should kill you. Here, now, to protect the innocent. At that, Eleanor's brow furrowed. I would hardly call government spies innocent. The woman's eyes narrowed. Spies, she repeated. Is that what they told you? Eleanor said nothing. The woman pulls out the ring from her dress pocket, turned it slowly, and held Eleanor's gaze. This list doesn't name spies. It names those in power. The ones stealing, silencing, disappearing people in the dark. Judges, generals, ministers. The ones rotting this country from within. She stepped closer, voice low. You were sent to protect them. I wear this ring to expose them. Silence fell between them, long enough for Eleanor to feel the ground shift beneath her, long enough to understand the full weight of the lie she'd been given. She looked at the woman, then back at the ring. No one moved. The tension between them fell, and everything became quiet. The woman led Eleanor into a small wooden storage hideout, hidden beneath the vines long forgotten by maps or patrols. The walls were lined with crates, scrolls and bundled papers. Names, dates, transactions, evidence, more than Eleanor had imagined. Here is your proof, the woman said. And then, behind them, footsteps. Eleanor turned. The man who had come to her cell to give her the letter stood in the doorway, pistol drawn. His coat was clean, his expression unreadable. He looked to the woman and took her by the arm. Then he turned to Eleanor and said, flatly, Thank you, Miss Quinn. Your job is done here. You may go. And be free. Eleanor said nothing. Her pulse quickened, but she walked out slowly, eyes on the woman. He watched her the whole time. Then she turned and stepped out into the cold night air.